Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you this special bulletin. The Marvels is set to be a massive box office bomb. Thing is, this is going to be a surprise to absolutely no one who's been following anything. The only reason Captain Marvel made over $1 billion is because of, luck, I guess, placement of where it was coming out at the theaters. Everyone thought that it needed to be seen, so it made millions of dollars. Billions of dollars, my goodness. And it didn't really take off all that well. But with the release of The Marvels, in this article from Bounding Into Comics, thank you very much. The Marvels crashes to Earth was a Thursday night box office of just $6.5 million, performing even worse than Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and The Flash. This does not bode well for the box office success of The Marvels. It'll be easy enough to predict. I have watched the movie, and oh my goodness gracious, is it... Oh, it's terrible. Well, terrible is a strong word. Useless, bad, nonsensical, doesn't make sense, continuity issues, but let's keep going. In an outcome that all but the franchise's most staunch defenders / slop consumers could have predicted, The Marvels is shaping up to be but the latest in the studio's ongoing streak of financial misses. Yes, there's been one box office bomb after another, especially coming from Disney. Not too much success this past year with the theatrical releases. Oh, that's... As the space-based sequel, sort of. I don't know how you could exactly call The Marvels a sequel to Captain Marvel because, well, if you want to know anything about the characters in this movie, outside of Carol Danvers, you have to go back and watch multiple series that are hidden behind the Disney Plus paywall. Not everybody's going to do that. Even with the little snippets in the movie itself that give you clues here and there to who these characters are, talking about Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan, respectively, there's barely enough to have an idea who these characters are, what their powers are. I'm not sure if there's enough to get people to go back and watch the Disney Plus shows. We'll have to wait and see. Early speculation had this movie going $50 to $75 million domestic box office. Opening weekend, or opening Thursday night, of $6 million, less than Quantumania and The Flash. I don't know how well you're going to predict, but using that information, it's easy enough to see. The Marvels is going to tank at the box office, losing millions and millions. You're losing hundreds of millions of dollars. Box office, the production budget apparently is $300 million, $270 to $300 million, easily more considering the marketing of the movie as well. One trailer after another, a final trailer that actually showed off the last half of the movie, the end credit scene, as well as the end of the movie. Whose idea was that? Let's move on. Thursday night preview, repeating the same title. Let's go. Per reports from both Deadline and Variety, the Brie Larson, Tiona Paris, and Iman Vellani-led team-up film managed to snag $6.5 million in ticket sales. Disney reports the number at the slightly higher total of $6.6 million in its preview night premiere. As such, The Marvels will officially enter the history books with the third lowest preview night performance in the entire MCU. Its first place finish only being undercut by the Ant-Man, the original, $6.4 million, whose success at the time was hampered by the hero's relative obscurity in the public consciousness, and The Incredible Hulk of $2 million. Which one? I guess that's the one, with what? Edward Norton. Which premiered at a time when preview shows began at midnight. Okay, so you can't really, I wouldn't pull The Incredible Hulk in there because it started at midnight. Most of the time, most Thursday night, quote unquote, Thursday night previews start, as the article says, at 3 p.m. with numerous showings in numerous theaters. So I think The Incredible Hulk, that should be taken out of the equation completely. So let's go ahead and move up the Marvels to second place. Times have changed. Need to change your metrics. Additionally, the film will also take home the title of Marvel's worst performing preview night of 2023. That's not a really, I mean, well, actually, no, that is a pretty low bar. Wow. Being left in the dust by the 17.5 million Thursday night box office enjoyed by both Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was successful because people actually like those characters. It's not necessarily associated 100% with the MCU. It's always managed to live outside of the MCU. And it's James Gunn. People have different opinions on that director versus Nia DaCosta, who fucked off before production was even complete with the Marvels. But can you blame her? Either the movie was terrible or she had better things to do than deal with the dumpster fire that is the Marvels. Perhaps the most damning of Marvel's latest outing is the fact that its preview night box office failed to surpass even that of the aforementioned Flash, which was a massive failure for Warner Brothers. A more fair comparison point, as both films were released amid failing interest in superhero films, failing interest in bad films, in badly written characters, in actors and actresses with piss-poor attitudes and terrible reputations. I think it's more along the lines of bad writing than it is being a superhero film. Tracked preview nights, let's see, amidst falling interest, one and the same. Interest in superhero films tracked preview nights starting at 3 p.m. and were subject to massive scrutiny ahead of their premieres. The Flash, even with star Ezra Miller's numerous crimes being well within the realm of public knowledge at the time, managed to nearly double. So despite people's opinion of Ezra Miller, the movie still came in at $9.7 million in its opening night. That's interesting. We continue, blah, blah. Nick Fury was not Nick Fury. Kamala Khan, probably one of the better aspects of the movie. I'm sure she had a ton of fun. I don't see this movie hitting its domestic projection of $50 million. I just don't. After watching it myself, word of mouth is going to tank this film. Only the hardcore Disney shills are going to go out and try to watch this movie. They'll praise it left and right. The articles have already started. They started opening night with "Don't listen to the misogynist man babies," calling everyone istophobes for not liking this movie. So, definitely going to get into spoiler review. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait till Wednesday night, but hey, who knows? Maybe I can get one earlier. Do you plan on going to see this movie? Are you going to bother? You're going to waste your money? I feel like I wasted my time watching this movie, but hey. Do you think it's going to hit the $50 million box office projection? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Do all that nifty stuff that YouTubers ask you to do. Because, hey, gotta get back into it. You have a great day. Hope to see you on the next one.